Alright guys, what's up? It's Daniel. We're back with another video. Now, this video is not a movie or game review. This is a tier list. A tier list of something that, a lot of people have opinions on, for Marvel movies specifically. So yeah, let's get right into it. I'm going to start with the ones that I haven't watched here. That's right there. We'll just go ahead and put those in. I have not watched Agent Carter. I haven't watched What If. And I have not watched Loki. Now, I know y'all be thinking like, Daniel, you're starting a movie review, game review channel, and you haven't watched these shows? Like, I'm sorry. Like, man's busy. Man's a busy guy, I got things I gotta do, That's why movie reviews are pretty simple, you got a couple hours spare, then you film it and you tell your opinion, But shows, it's like you gotta dedicate every week, So, but no, haven't really seen Agent Carter. I remember when that came out way back in the day on ABC. What If is that new animation show that people are buzzing about, and I've heard great things about Loki for the multiverse. So, we'll start with the shows first. We can do WandaVision. WandaVision was a decent show, I thought. A lot of people were skeptical on it being the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever it started at for the show to line up for sitcoms. And I don't know, I thought it was interesting, but some of my friends didn't really care for it that much. But I thought it was pretty good. Vision does a great job. Elizabeth Olsen does great as Wanda. I think we will put that in B tier. I don't think it's up there with A and S, but I think it's pretty decent. Falcon and Winter Soldier. In my opinion, I liked Falcon and Winter Soldier more than WandaVision, even though a lot of people are going to say that that's kind of a hot take, but in my opinion, I feel as if the show dealt with sensitive topics that showed really well, and usually Marvel doesn't really do that. They like to play it safe with all of their movies, and they just did something a little different, and it worked for me. It really worked for me. I wish Bucky would have gotten more screen time and more of a focal point on the show. I mean, Anthony Mackie's character in Falcon kind of had the show for him. But with that being said, I'm going to put it in A. I think it's better than WandaVision. That's just my opinion. Take that as you will. Do we go... Let's just kind of do this. We can do it in order. Let's just start with these ones right here. We'll go all the way down the list right here. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, the movie right after Avengers Infinity War that was going to explain some things, like why wasn't Ant-Man in Infinity War? Well, he was doing stuff with this movie, but it's not good. It's not good. It's dull and it's childish. I mean, that's kind of what these Marvel movies are for, is for children, obviously, and for young adults, but it didn't really work for me that much. I mean, Paul Rudd does what he can with it, and the script and writing is just not that great for it. It's just not. For it, I'm going to put it in D. Now, however, the first Ant-Man there, I actually quite enjoy. Has funny bits in it. Paul Rudd does a great job. And just the writing was way better. And granted, the villain, I don't really care for when the villain is just another version of the hero. And you can make that case for a lot of these movies. And in my opinion, it's just lazy. But, I mean, you got to go from the source material, of course. So, we bear with it. We do. And we still like the movies for what they are. But as for Ant-Man, I will put it in B tier. I think it's pretty good. I'll try and order this at some point. Have a thorough way of showing it. Now, Avengers Age of Ultron introduces Vision. And that's about the only cool thing that happens. I mean, Ultron is okay, I guess. It's just a very dull movie, and I mean, we do get Scarlet Witch in this movie, and Quicksilver. They're in it, and I mean, it's cool, sure, but in my opinion, it's just not that great. It's very it drags on. It really does. It drags on. It was kind of disappointing. It was kind of disappointing, yeah. Compared to all the other Avengers movies, this is definitely the worst one by far. So for that, I'm going to put it in C tier. C tier for Age of Ultron. Let's go with Black Panther right here. Black Panther, I think it's good. Am I going to say it's flat out amazing? No. Not really. It's good. I mean, for what it is. I mean, rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. Michael B. Jordan does a great job with the villain. Do I think this movie is overhyped a little bit? Yeah, I do. But that's not to say it's not a bad movie by any means. It's not a bad movie. But it's definitely not great by any means. I had saw this a couple days before it released. I worked at the movie theater, and I was with one of my buddies, and who also worked there. And when we had watched it, at the end of it, we both realized that was okay. That was okay. But then it just, when that released wide, it just blew up, and I was like, really? So for that, I'm going to put Black Panther right above Avengers Age of Ultron. I don't think, like I said, it's not a bad movie. It's not a good movie or great movie either. It's there. It's okay if you just want to watch it. I've only watched it like twice. Let's go with Black Widow. Now this movie recently just came out with Scarlett Johansson, and it takes place right after Civil War, and in my opinion, it was a waste for her character. This movie Black Widow should have had her own movie like a long time ago. It was a waste of her character, in my opinion, to just come out with this. It felt like that they just had to release Black Widow, and they didn't have to. They didn't need to release this movie. I felt like a lot of people already liked Black Widow as is, so it didn't really add much to her character, in my opinion. I wouldn't say it's awful. The action's great in the movie, but it's just, it doesn't do anything for her character, unfortunately. I will put it in D tier. D tier along with AntMan and the Wasp. It's not that great. Captain Marvel, Brie Larson. A lot of people don't like this movie. A lot of people don't like it. Me, on the other hand, it's okay. It's an okay movie. It's not good. I think the writing for Brie Larson's character in Captain Marvel is terrible. Terrible writing. It's just not good. Not good at all. But as for like the side characters, they do a pretty good job, I feel like. But it's just, Brie Larson's character is boring. Absolutely boring. Just not good. Not good at all. For that reason, I'll put it in C tier. C tier along with those. Let's do one of the Iron Mans. Let's do the OG. Iron Man 1 started off. Tony Stark starts the MCU. Now, in my opinion, this movie's good. It's pretty good. Is it great? No, not in my opinion. I think Tony Stark, in my opinion, Iron Man is more noteworthy from the Avengers movies. His own movies kind of lack. But for the first Iron Man, I feel like this movie is overhyped up a bit. We will put the first Iron Man in. We'll put it, I'm thinking between A or B. We'll keep it in A. That's fine. We'll do Captain America, First Avenger. This movie, it's alright. In my opinion, I think Iron Man 1 is a better introduction to their character than Captain America, for sure. Captain America is one of my favorite characters, and the direction that they had for this movie is way different compared to the second and third one for Civil War and Winter Soldier, definitely. And just, it's alright. It's alright. For it, I'm gonna put it in B tier. Chris Evans does a great job with Captain America, though, definitely. Next, we'll do Thor 1. Thor 1. Chris Hemsworth. I'm gonna be honest. It's not that memorable of a movie. Now, it takes a fish out of water type of take on the movie, and just it's not memorable. I mean, Thor loses his hammer, so the whole time it's like not really much of Thor with his hammer. But I mean, it's okay. Do I think it's good? No. Do I think it's bad? No. C tier. C tier for Thor 1. To Incredible Hulk. The only Universal movie in the MCU. The only one. Edward Norton playing the Hulk. Before Mark Ruffalo. Now, I think the CGI for this movie is terrible. It's not good. The Hulk versus, I believe it's Abomination at the end of the movie. It's just not there for me. The movie's just not that great. Not at all. Edward Norton does an alright job, but I think all of us kind of skip this movie. We don't really think about it when it comes to the MCU. Definitely. For it, it's going in D tier. It's not good. It's not good. The CGI for Hulk is just not good. Let's do Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy is kind of the movie that made the MCU become kind of what it is today. Like, it experimented on being weird. A lot of people were myself. I can't really speak on behalf of a lot of people, but for myself, I was skeptical when seeing trailers for this movie. I just kind of was like, what the heck is this? What is this? But it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Star-Lord, Chris Pratt, he does a great job. The entire cast as a whole does a great job. Bradley Cooper, Bautista, Vin Diesel's Groot. Just they all do good. And now, am I one of those people that ranks it top 5? Unfortunately, no. No. Guardians of the Galaxy, still a great movie, but I'm sorry, it's not the one of the best for me. Just for me. For it, we'll still put it in A tier. Well, it's definitely the top of the bunch. It's definitely, so far anyways, for what we've been doing. Let's just get the worst one out of the way. Thor Dark World is not good. Don't watch it. It's not worth anyone's time. It genuinely isn't. Doesn't add anything to Thor's character. It's lame. And just not good. I would argue, all these movies, the entire MCU, are all watchable movies. But Thor Dark World, for me, just isn't watchable. F tier. Next, we'll do Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange. Benedict Cumberbatch, insane with Doctor Strange. This movie is so cool. This movie is really cool. Worth anyone's time. I think it's underrated. I think it's probably the most underrated MCU movie. I feel like people don't acknowledge how great this movie is. Like, seriously, this movie is incredible. A tier. Above the rest right now. Not for right now, anyways. Let's go with Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2, skip it. Do not watch this movie. It's not worth your time at all. If you're just getting into the MCU, you're watching them, don't watch it. Just Google War Machine. He comes into the MCU. That's all you need to know. Iron Man gets a pal, and it's War Machine. And that's the only thing noteworthy from this movie. Whiplash, the villain, terrible. Terrible. Not worth it. It's D tier. It's the worst. Thor Dark World will never be beaten. But Iron Man 2, that is there for it. Now, let's go with Iron Man 3. Now, Iron Man 3, from what I remember seeing this movie, it felt just like Tony Stark and not really Iron Man for the movie. I mean, I saw it in IMAX at the time when it came out, and I thought it was pretty cool. But it's not really that memorable. Now, I don't really think of this movie as like some amazing movie. It's okay, and I mean, it's good. It's good, but that's about it. It's not great. It's not bad. B tier. B tier along with those. I think that's fair for it. We'll go with Spider-Man Homecoming. We'll go with Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, hot take for me. The writing for Spider-Man, not there for me at all. I feel like these Spider-Man movies focus too much on Iron Man along with it. It's Spider-Man is Iron Man Jr. in this universe. Now I'm hoping with No Way Home that they change it up a bit and kind of steer away from that, but I feel like his writing is just not good. He relies too much on it. It's just not there for me. Now, is it still a great movie? Yes, but I just feel like they could do so much more with this character. So much more. This is Marvel's baby. Number one, Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the guy. You're telling me you gotta tag along Iron Man for this dude? No! No, you don't. Alright, for me, it still goes an A. Spider-Man's still a great movie, but I just feel like they could do better with the writing for him. Let's go Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Now, the first one's way better. Don't get me wrong, second one's still decent. Take Star-Lord's father for this movie as the main villain, and kind of tries to brainwash him all a bit. It's okay. I mean, it's good, but it's definitely not as what the first one was. I'll put it in B. I think it belongs there, definitely. We'll do Thor Ragnarok. Now this movie changed up Thor for the character completely. He became cool. He became cool and funny. Like, this is way off from the source material. Not only that, they added Incredible Hulk, which was awesome to me. It's so much fun. Taika Waititi directed this movie too, and he needs to take on more projects for Marvel. I know he's rumored to have one for Star Wars, which, man, that's awesome. That's really awesome. I hope we get more movies like this with Thor. Now, do I think it's better than Doctor Strange? No, but I do think it's up there. It's definitely up there. Let's do Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier! Bucky comes back. Now, some of y'all might think I'm biased, and I mean, this is my list. Don't get me wrong. But Winter Soldier, it's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites. I feel like the choreography and action is incredible. The writing for Chris Evans and Bucky, like the feud between it, and it's so good. It's so good. So good. Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow's in this. Nick Fury, he's in this. And they just do such a good job. It introduces Falcon, too, in this movie. It's so good. So good. Oh, my goodness. I can't get enough of it. This is probably, out of all the Marvel movies, this is the one I probably watched the most by far. For it, it goes in S tier. It goes in S tier. Let's be clear with that. Spider-Man Far From Home. Now, I think Homecoming is a little bit better. Now, that's not to say that Spider-Man Far From Home is a bad movie. It's great. It's a great movie. Mysterio, Jake Gyllenhaal plays him. He does a pretty good job, in my opinion. But the problem I have, once again, is that they rely too much on Iron Man. They have, like, so much. I understand that with the events of Endgame, they kind of ride with that. And with it, they just think about, like, oh, you gonna be the next Iron Man? Like, no, Spider-Man is his own character. He's his own character. He doesn't need Iron Man's help. This is the man. I just don't like the writing for it. But still, great movie. It goes in A tier. I'll put it right there. I feel like that's fair. Now, Shang-Chi. This movie's awesome. This movie is so cool. Oh my goodness. I can't get enough of this movie. I really can't. I want to go see it again for sure in theaters. But with all so much stuff coming back out, I mean, it's just off to the side for the moment. But this movie bangs. It's so good. They have that bus scene in the movie. And just when they had that, you just knew this movie was going to be awesome. We'll put it... Yeah, we'll put it in A. We'll put it in A. We'll put it right there. Put it right there, in between Thor Ragnarok and Doctor Strange. I think it deserves that. Now, hot take. Captain America Civil War, not there for me. I mean, it's still great. Still a great movie. But with it, I just feel like we knew nothing was going to happen with these characters. We knew nothing. I mean, we see Spider-Man come in and it's like, whoa, whoa, that's cool. I'm so excited. But other than that, I mean, there's not much at stake for me. It's just, oh, Iron Man and Captain America aren't friends anymore? Oh. I mean, they do have that villain that does kind of drive them away from each other, and Bucky killing his parents. Yeah, that's huge. But for me, it doesn't do it for me, because they all kiss and make up in the end. It's still great. I'll put in A tier, but for me, it's not S by any means. No. The big dogs. Avengers Assemble, the first Avengers that kick-started. This is where I feel like after this movie is where the movie for the Marvel movies really took off from here. Like they became awesome. Like you got the whole cast in there. I remember seeing trailers and freaking out. Loki being the villain. Oh, so good. So good. First Avengers. Above Winter Soldier. S tier. S tier for me. Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame. We'll do Endgame. Now, do I love this movie. I really do. Endgame has a lot of fan service. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with fan service. I think it really adds to it. I remember seeing this in theaters and absolutely loving it. I really loved it. I really did. So for it, we'll put an S tier. But do I think it's up to par with these movies? No, unfortunately. But it's a great conclusion for what these characters are and led it into the right step for where the MCU is going now. It really is. Now, Avengers Infinity War. Infinity War is the best. Thanos is the best villain we've ever had. That is for sure. And he was so intimidating in this movie. Like Thanos, it took like freaking 6 dudes to get a scratch on this guy. He just felt so powerful and unstoppable. Whereas Endgame, I feel like he was kind of... It felt a little predictable and he kind of looked weak to me. Whereas for the movie. But, you know, this Infinity War is something different and it shocked everyone. And it made it for the better. Definitely. So yeah, this is a tier list. This is it right here. I think it looks good for me. I think it looks pretty good. Now, you can tell me your top 5 Marvel movies in the comments below, or just let me know. And if subscribe to the channel. Like this video if you haven't already. It really does help me out a lot. I really appreciate it. You can follow me at my socials. Links are down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Peace out.